This video is going to show you how to build an eForm that you can use as an RFQ, or request for quote or prices from your suppliers. You can then send that from a quote. The supplier can update the prices and the quote will be automatically updated without you having to do anything. All you then need to do is update your margin or your markup and send it to your client. Right, so let's get started. First thing is modules, eForms. Then templates, because we're going to use this over and over again. New template, give it a name. Don't enter anything here because this will vary depending on who the quote is for and which supplier you're going to use. So notes, you might want to have a little preamble there to the supplier to explain what they need to do. So this will appear on the page that you send to your supplier. Okay, so then we can start adding some items in here. Now this is split into two sections already. You have a detail section and then the signature section. So in this particular case, let's do the signature section. Actually, we don't care. We don't need them to put a checkbox to say that it's all fine. So let's just remove that. But we'd quite like to have their first name and their second name. And perhaps we'd also like to have the name of the company. Here is where we're going to ask for the information against each item on the quote. So what's really important is that we click is line item template here. That means that for every item on the quote that we've asked for an eForm for, it will duplicate another line on the RFQ. So let's start new form field, and we need to select the line item cost. So let's see that in action then. Let's go to a quote, create a quote, add in a couple of lines, and then we're going to ask for the price of them. So to do this, click on edit, select these two items, create eForms selected items. There we go. It's the RFQ, the one we just created. And the eForm is generated. And you can see from this that it's generated two lines, one for each of the lines on the original quote. So then we'd send it off to the supplier. So let's take a look at what that would look like. They can acknowledge that they've received it and they can start putting their prices in. That's all completed. If we now go back to the eForm and refresh that, we can see the prices have come through. And if we go back to the quote, which of course we can do from links and associations, you can see that the prices have come through on the agreed cost. So if we want to apply the markup or the margin, we can do that. Apply markup. And then send it off to the client. You can add additional things onto the eForm. You could ask for them to send a copy of their quote. You could ask for terms and conditions and so on. It's all there, and it's all then accessible on links and associations on the quote. You can then go in and have a look at the eForm. Also, if the supplier has not sent it back, you can see this here, that the status won't be signed. Or you can monitor your RFQs on the eForms screen.